Why are some of the most fulfilled, focused, and deeply peaceful people the ones who spend the most time alone? Why is it that true transformation often begins the moment we stop running from solitude? Welcome back to the channel. I'm honored to be here with you today because what we're about to explore is one of the most misunderstood yet liberating truths in our noisy, hyper-connected world. We live in a society that celebrates social proof, how many friends you have, how busy your weekends are, how full your inbox stays. But what if I told you that the greatest source of clarity, power, and creativity doesn't come from crowds, it comes from solitude? This episode is dedicated to all the thinkers, the feelers, the slow movers, the deep processors, the ones who felt different because they enjoy their own company more than the noise of constant conversation. This is a journey into the psychology, practicality, and spiritual richness of solitude. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll never see being alone the same way again. Let's begin with a story that might feel familiar. Wei was always the quiet one. He had friends, but rarely accepted invitations, loved hiking alone, often went to movies by himself, family gatherings. People teased him, "You're too introverted. You need to get out more. Are you sure you're okay?" At first, he believed them. He tried to be more social, joined events, went out with colleagues, but every time he felt drained, not just tired, but disconnected from himself. Then something shifted. Instead of forcing extroversion, Wei began studying solitude. He read books on monks, minimalists, solo travelers. He started journaling, meditating, going days without external validation. And one day, he wrote this sentence in his notebook: "I'm not lonely, I'm finally listening." That's the power of solitude. It doesn't isolate you from the world. It reconnects you to yourself. So let's redefine the narrative. Solitude is not loneliness. Loneliness is the pain of disconnection. Solitude is the luxury of presence. Loneliness is screaming into a crowded room and still feeling unheard. Solitude is sitting by a window in silence and hearing your soul breathe. The world has confused the two, and that confusion is stealing people's peace. Let's dive deeper. Solitude does three powerful things. It clarifies identity. When no one is watching, you discover what really matters. You start to ask, do I like this because I like it, or because others do? You stop living reactive life. You begin to curate your life consciously. It deepens creativity. Every great artist, writer, and thinker you admire spent long hours alone, not just working, but listening. Ideas don't grow in noise. They need space. Stabilizes emotions. In solitude, you start to observe your feelings without judgment. You learn to sit with sadness, anxiety, excitement, without reaching for distractions. This builds what psychologists call emotional granularity, the ability to understand your internal weather. Let me tell you about Len. He was a mother of 3, full-time nurse, and rarely had 5 minutes alone. One weekend, he booked herself a cabin retreat. No phone, no TV, just books, walks, and quiet. First, the silence terrified her. But on day 3, something cracked open. He wrote in her journal, "For the first time in years, I don't feel like a role. I feel like a person." He cried, not from pain, but from recognition. Solitude gave her back her essence. That's the thing no one tells you. When you spend time alone, you remember yourself. You remember what you loved as a child, what you stopped doing because life got busy, what you believed before the world told you who to be. Now let's flip the question. Why are people so afraid of solitude? Because it forces you to face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Your insecurities, your regrets, your unmet dreams. When you're alone, there's nowhere to hide. But here's the twist: what's the healing? In solitude, you don't avoid your shadows, you befriend them. You learn that discomfort isn't danger, it's data. It's a message from your soul saying there's more for you. And once you face it, you become unshakable. Because if you can sit with yourself in silence and still feel whole, then no comment, rejection, or failure can destabilize you. Let me give you a tool, the hour of power. Every day, spend 1 hour with no input, with screens, no music, no tasks. Just sit, walk, write, reflect. It'll feel awkward at first, but give it 2 weeks. Watch how your thoughts shift from chaotic to clear. Watch how decisions become easier, how creativity spikes, how anxiety drops. Because what you're doing is recalibrating your nervous system back to your own rhythm. Let's take a moment to talk about relationships. You know who makes the best partners? People who know how to be alone. Because they don't enter relationships out of neediness. They don't cling. They don't demand. They choose. They offer presence, not pressure, connection, not consumption. They filled their own cup, so what they give is overflow, not obligation. If you've ever been in a relationship where you felt suffocated, chances are one or both people hadn't yet learned the art of solitude. When 2 whole people come together, the result isn't dependent, just amplification. Solitude also rewires your productivity. Let's bust a myth: Disney's ineffectiveness. You can spend all day on calls and still get nothing done. You can spend 1 hour in solitude and birth a breakthrough. When I started building this channel, I blocked out 4 hours of solitude every morning. No meetings, no scrolling, just thinking, writing, idioting. That's when the best ideas came. And now, I protect that space like gold. Because creation needs silence, and solitude is the workshop where your best self builds. Let's go even deeper into the spiritual. Any ancient traditions teach that solitude isn't optional, it's essential. Jesus went to the wilderness, Buddha meditated under a tree, prophets, mystics, sages all sought solitude before revelation. Because when the outer noise dies, the inner truth speaks. In solitude, you stop asking, "What should I do?" and start asking, "Who am I becoming?" And that question changes everything. I want to close this video by offering you 5 mantras to carry into your solitude practice. I am not empty inside, I am expanding. My company is enough for my wholeness. Solitude is not with or towards return. I am not defined by the noise I escape. In stillness, I find strength. Thank you for watching this video. If solitude has ever changed your life, tell me in the comments. What have you learned in your quiet seasons? And if you're afraid of being alone, what would it look like to lean in just a little? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with someone who needs to hear. You are not strange for seeking stillness, you are wise. Until next time, walk alone when needed, walk deep hallways, and remember, peace lives where noise ends.
Before you leave, here's something special. In Buddhism, we believe that every encounter carries a deeper meaning. Would you like to discover your true soul connection, the one written into your destiny? Take the Soulmate Test today and unveil the hidden truths of your journey. Click the link below and begin your path now.
http://soulmate. You wisdom more, come, white.